These cookies are literally something I dreamed up in my sleep. Hi everyone, it's Tasha and welcome to another recipe video. And today we're going to be making salted egg yolk chocolate chip cookies. Timestamps are down below in the description if you want to skip the initial blah blah, but stick around if you want to hear a little bit more about the recipe first. And if you don't mind a few ramblings, thank you for staying. A couple of nights ago I had a dream about these sweet, slightly salted, creamy, ooey gooey chocolate chip salted egg yolk cookies. And in the dream I bought one in the bakery, and as I was about to take a bite I woke up. Now, I racked my brains to think, where have I seen these cookies before, and I don't think they exist. So because I was super disappointed that I woke up before I got to eat one, I decided just to make some. This is kind of like the time I dreamt about Matcha eggnog. This was years and years ago. And I dreamt about Matcha eggnog when barely anyone really thought about eggnog or matcha in the UK. This was about 10 years ago. I think I made eggnog from scratch first a couple of years ago, and then the matcha eggnog. I'll put the links up above and down below. But this one's a bit different because it wasn't a drink, it was a food. But I'm no stranger to making chocolate chip cookies, so I thought I'd give it a go. In my dream, the chocolate chips were very chunky, so I'm going to cut them chunkily. And there were little tiny flecks of salted egg yolk within the cookies. And that is what we're going to aim for today. So with all that said, let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. First things first, let's preheat the oven to 180 degrees C. Next, we need to grate 6 salted egg yolks. So these are salted duck egg yolks. I can actually find them frozen in my local Asian supermarket. You can make your own. Just crack some duck eggs, separate the yolks, bury the yolks in some salt for 24 hours. Then you have to brush away the extra salt and rinse the egg yolks, and then dry them on a low heat in the oven for a couple of hours. It's quite simple. There are lots of videos of how to do it. But yeah, you'll probably be able to find these frozen in your local Asian supermarket. Let me show you the packet actually so you can see what it looks like. Here's what I'm using. It comes in a pack of 20. I've taken 4 out and I had 2 left over from a previous pack. So I've grated 2. Let's grate the other 4. It's quite a soft texture as well. It feels like a soft cheese really. There we go. It doesn't matter if there are a few little lumps in there or bigger chunks of egg yolk, that's absolutely fine. In fact, I quite like that. Now let's get on with making the cookie dough. Here I have 150 grams of light muscovado sugar. I'm going to add 100 grams of caster sugar, and I'm going to add 115 grams of unsalted butter which I've melted and cooled. And I'm going to give these a quick stir together. And now we're going to crack one egg in. Give that a stir too. And now we're going to stir in the dry ingredients. Here I have 155 grams of plain flour. I'm going to add half a teaspoon of baking powder and 2 teaspoonfuls of custard powder. Now usually when I make this kind of big chewy cookie I use corn flour, but since we are making a salted egg yolk cookie today, I thought why not use custard powder for the extra colour and flavour, because after all custard powder is mostly corn flour. And now we're going to stir this together too. And our last but definitely not least, I'm going to add 100 grams of roughly chopped dark chocolate, 100 grams of roughly chopped milk chocolate, because I like a mix, but use 200 grams of any single or combination of chocolate you like. And of course our, I couldn't say salted and grated at the same time, salted, grated, salted duck egg yolks. Don't you just hate it when your brain glitches out and tries to combine words? Anyway, we're going to stir this together too. And that is it, that's a mixture done. Now what you have is you have a cookie mixture where some of that egg yolk has melted into the dough and become finely combined, but there are also some little chunks still in there, which is exactly what we want. Right, let's make some cookies. I have a lined baking tray here with some non-stick baking parchment. This is my reusable stuff, and I'm going to take a cookie scoop and I'm just going to drop scoopfuls of cookie dough onto our tray. I'm going to make sure we space them out because they spread, don't forget. Future Tash here, I made these portions way too big. I knew it as soon as I put the first cookie down, but I kind of went with it because I was too lazy to cut another piece of my baking parchment. And now we're going to bake these for 8 to 12 minutes, depending on how chewy or how firm you want them. I usually bake them about 10, but let's see, this is quite a soft batter. As you can see, I've made a lucky baker's 13, so let's bake these. Whoops, I knew I made them too big. Right, now as soon as they're out in the oven, I'm going to take a knife and I'm going to separate them while they're still soft, because these do solidify as they cool down. So you want to do this while they're hot. Or alternatively, like I attempted half-heartedly but then stopped doing, just make the cookies smaller, or like use more baking trays so you can put fewer on them so you can spread them out a bit more. They are already solidifying. So yes, once these come out in the oven, and these have had 10 minutes, they're going to seem a bit soft, but as they cool down they do get crisper, as you can see. So now we're going to bake the other batch, which as you can see I have now separated out into 2 different trays, so hopefully they won't run together. And we're going to let these cool down completely while we do the other batch, and then we're going to let them cool down completely too. This is our second batch, by the way, looking much better. Now we're just going to let them cool down completely. Wow, these look so good, and of course I chose the best looking ones for the photo. The other ones are more squared shaped. You're probably going to make them better than I have, because now you know they spread a lot, and you're not going to be greedy like me and make giant ones on a small tray. As you can see, this one, a little chunk fell off. Gotta admit, I ate it. I don't regret it. It was delicious. And you can see those tiny tasty flecks of salted egg yolk in there. Lovely. Now this is what dreams are made of. Just like I dreamed about, you got the little salted egg yolk flecks and the big chunks of chocolate. Wow, there's a big one on the bottom. Now the moment of truth. Well, technically I already ate a chunk because it fell off and I couldn't resist, so I already know what it tastes like, but for the purpose of the camera, cheers. That is exactly what I imagined it would taste like. It's kind of creamy in flavour and not overly salty, because obviously the salted egg yolks by itself, if you just eat one, it's salty, but the creaminess of the fat cuts through it. And we used 6 egg yolks for 12 to 13 cookies, so about half an egg yolk per cookie, so not that bad, and these cookies are huge. And because the egg yolk is evenly distributed within that cookie, it's just a perfect balance of sweet and a little bit salty. Salted caramel, move over. It's all about the salted egg yolks. So there you go, salted egg yolk chocolate chip cookies from my dream. Now no longer just a dream. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe video, and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com, follow me on Instagram, I'm tashcakes.tastes, and find me on TikTok too, I'm tashcakes there too, but my handle is food in slow motion. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you'd like to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I will see you all next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. I dreamt about food last night as well. I dreamt that I was making tagliatelle from scratch. Weirdly specifically bougie for a dream.